Hey everybody, this is Tom with The Board Gamer. Today we're going to do a quick overview and review for this game. If you want the full how-to, go ahead and click this icon up here or the link in the description. Now let's get into it. Champions of Midgard is a 2 to 4 player worker placement game for ages 10 and up, with gameplay average of 60 to 90 minutes, published by Gray Fox Games. The basic overview of Champions of Midgard has you sending workers to collect warriors and supplies to defend against monsters, avoid blame, and collect glory over the course of 8 rounds. The player with the most glory by the end of the game wins. Champions of Midgard is a tight worker placement. Where some other worker placement games have multiple locations that do just about the same thing, Champions of Midgard has one spot per action. It really pays to go first, or at least go second. But regardless of the turn order, the combat is fun and very push your luck style. This aspect makes rolling the dice more fun and less of a needed chore. And let's not forget about the blame mechanic. The ability to hinder other players who either ignore or just aren't fast enough to get to the troll takes this from an individual focused game into a great multiplayer experience, which I think more worker placement games should model themselves after. And now that you've heard my opinion, let's dissect this game and see what it has to offer. The components for Champions of Midgard are great. The big standouts for me though are the custom dice for each warrior set, the swordsmen, spearmen, and berserkers, and the amazing art on each of the individual cards. These custom dice are nothing groundbreaking. They really are just 6-sided die. But when you are in combat, these are your warriors, and they are burdened with glorious purpose. You want them to survive. You want them to keep fighting for you. Unless, of course, you're crossing the sea and suspect that one of those journey cards is going to upend one of them out of your boat. In that case, they are your sacrificial lambs. So those with greater purpose can fight those monsters and earn you that glory. This feeling elevates those dice from just a tool to something more. Another thing that helps elevate these battles is the art on the cards. Whether it be a simple troll or a creature from Norse mythology, the art depicts them as strong and intimidating, as creatures that warriors should face be. The only thing really lacking in this game for me are the workers and resources, which have since been remedied with an aftermarket purchase. But it's something I wish just came included with the original base game. Now there's nothing really wrong with these resources. They're made out of wood and, a thick cardboard. They just lack the impact that the rest of the game provides. In my opinion anyway. I find when discussing ease of play, worker placements are low complexity and therefore have more play potential than some heavier strategy games. Champions of Midgard sticks to this opinion I have. You have a worker, you place the worker, you do what the spot says. The combat can be a little tricky if you're brand new to gaming, but since combat is one of the highlights of this game, everybody at the table usually gets involved to hype up each roll, which makes it easier to guide new players to victory. All in all, this is a pretty easy game to get a handle on. And once you do, the joy is multiplied by each monster you slay. Now, Champions of Midgard is first and foremost a strategy game. Combat can have some luck, but it's not enough to call it strictly a luck-based game, especially since you can always increase the number of warriors you take into battle with you, unless of course you choose too small of a boat. Not only that, certain warriors have either more attack or more defense, therefore making a greater argument for the strategy side of this debate. And to combat some bad luck, you are allowed to exchange favor tokens to re-roll as many dice as you'd like, as many times as you have favor tokens. So I would say this is a strategy game with a little bit of luck sprinkled in to keep things interesting. Now, based solely on what comes in this box and leaving all emotions to the side, I have to say this game has average replayability. But given the fun I've had playing this game, alongside others who have had just as much, if not more fun, playing this game, I find the desire to replay Champions of Midgard quite high. And when you factor in the expansions, you of course gain more complexity of the game, which opens it up for more replayability based on the different strategies you could use to win. But I think the desire to replay a game versus the actual ability to replay the game really boils down to how you individually feel about the game. The base game alone has enough replayability for me just because the desire to replay it is there. And that made for a good segue to talk about the emotional connection and theming of this game. Champions of Midgard creates a nice setting with its art and story. The feeling you get when rolling dice to slay those monsters. Everything in this game, down to where you place your workers, sets the scene, and we're just here to act out our parts. The ability to feel like you're part of the game, and not just as a player, not only shows the value of the theming, but it also carries that emotional connection that makes people want to continue to play the game. Champions of Midgard provides this, and I always enjoy bringing it to the table. I think I've said all I could about Champions of Midgard. If you still don't want to try it out, you just might not be a fan of worker placement games, and that's okay. But either way, this board gamer says, Champions of Midgard, you are worthy. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and ring the bell to get notified about new videos. If you're bored now, click this for more games.